Shalawam, family, Shalawam. Hopefully everyone is doing wonderful tonight. Okay, family, I want to get into this lesson. A friend of mine, Brother Levi, he was telling me about he was on Facebook and he ran across a comment where a sister left about our forefather Yaakov working 7 years for his wife Rachel, because he really loved her. And he really did love her, but it's a little bit deeper than that, why he worked 7 years for her. So hopefully with this lesson, family, this will help give, all of us some understanding about what was really going on besides the love for his wife, right, or his wife to be, So before I get into the lesson, let me start off by giving all glory and honor to the creator of the universe, Yahweh, and also to his son Yahushua. I'd also send a special greeting to the brothers and sisters that's willing to push this truth out there to wake up the very elect. So let's start off at Genesis 29 and 20. Let's get the scripture that she was quoting from first and foremost. Genesis 29 and 20. And it reads, "And Jacob served 7 years for Rachel, and they seemed to him to be a few days, for the love he had to her." So he worked 7 years for his wife, right? And we're gonna get some understanding to really see what's really going on, because it's a lot more to it than that. So we're gonna first take in consideration that Rachel was a virgin, number one. So let's get that, because that's part of our custom, that our women were virgins. Our women wasn't walking around here having, going from one man to the next man to the next man to the next man, So anyway, we're going to edify that later on in this video too also. And again, sisters, it's not taking shots. It's just trying to bring us back to our custom and our culture, because we have devalued our custom, our culture, our covenant with the Most High, and this is where we're at right now as a people. So Exodus 22 and verse 16. "If a man entice a maid that is not betrothed and lie with her, he shall surely endow her to be his wife. If her father utterly refuse to give her unto him, he shall pay money according to the dowry of virgins." Okay, so there was a going price for a virgin, right? So let's get that in Deuteronomy. Let's go to Deuteronomy. Let's go to Deuteronomy 22, and let's start off at verse 28. "If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, and lie hold on her, and lie with her, and they be found, then the man that lie with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife, because he humbled her. He may not put her away all his days." Okay. So let's bring this into modern terms. Let's say a brother wanted to get a brand new car, right? Brand new car. And the average going price for a car is about, let's say, $12,000 to $25,000, right? It would be safe to say that the average brother do not even have $500 in his bank account. Now, also, we got to add this here to the factor also. The average salary a year is between, let's say, $26,000 to $32,000 a year. So if the average salary is $26,000 a year, and the average price of a car is between that price, when you look at modern terms, okay, compared to biblical terms, the average price for a woman was the going rate would be the average of the growing rate of a yearly salary. Thank you, Sister Ladaya. Thank you for that. For that. That's information also that we have to take in consideration. What I'm saying? So we look at the 50 shekels of silver. when we look at what the forefather Yaakov did, he didn't have the 50 shekels of silver. This is why he worked 7 years for his wife. You know what I'm saying? Because if you go to a financial institution right now, if you want to buy this car, they're going to put interest on you. You know what I'm saying? Or you go to some kind of bank, they're going to add interest on you, right? So tell you what. Let's go back to Exodus. Let's go back to Exodus 22. Sort of at verse 25. If thou lend money unto any of my people that is poor by thee, thou shalt not be unto him as a usurer, neither shall thou lie upon him usury. Usury, like I say, is exorbitant amount of interest or taxes. So that's unlawful to do that. You know what I'm saying? So like I said before, being that the forefather Yaakov, he didn't have 50 shekels of silver, he sat down and he negotiated a price with the forefather, with her father, for her. So that was going on. So let's go back to Deuteronomy. Let's go back to Deuteronomy. But we're going to go to chapter 15 this time. Let's go to chapter 15, start off at verse 1. At the end of every 7 years, thou shalt make a release. And this is the manner of the release. Every creditor that lends unto his neighbor shall release it. He shall not exact it of his neighbor or of his brother, because it is called the Lord's release. This is why, Yaakov worked only 7 years, because whatever that debt was, he had 7 years to pay that off through his labor. After that, he was debt free. Again, this is why a lot of these credit unions and these financial institutions, when you're trying to get a vehicle, you have to pay that debt off in 7 years, 5 to 7 years. Or when you file bankruptcy, that stays on your credit for 7 years. See, this scripture, the Bible, is about building a nation, about building an empire. You know what I'm saying? About building a people. But we have devalued our covenant with the Most High, which in turn we had devalued our women, because we don't have a covenant with our women. You know what I'm saying? Because the marriage that a man have with his wife, it's supposed to be the mirror image of the marriage that he have with the Most High. So if you don't value the marriage that you have with your wife, how can you value the marriage that you have with the Most High? Should make sense to you. You know what I'm saying? Because when the Most High sat down with our people and made a covenant, it was a verbal agreement first. It was a verbal agreement. There was a meeting of the minds. Then, after they met with the mind and negotiated everything, then they went into the covenant. You know what I'm saying? So this is why it's important for the sisters to have a covering, you know what I'm saying, an elder or somebody over them before they get out there and they deal with a brother. Matter of fact, I tell you what, let's kind of edify that a little bit. Let's go to matter of fact, not Deuteronomy. Let's go to Leviticus 21. Let's go to Leviticus 21 and let's start off at verse 1. And the Lord said unto Moses, speak unto the priests. Now remember, prophetically, Hamashiach, he brought the priesthood and the kingship into one. See, this is why I don't understand why brothers and sisters kick against the so-called New Testament. It just goes over their head. But anyway, let's start at verse 1 again. And the Lord said unto Moses, speak unto the priests, the sons of Aaron, and say unto them, there shall none be defiled for the dead among his people, but for his kin that is near unto him, that is, for his mother, and for his father, and for his son, and for his daughter, and for his brother, and for his sister, a virgin, that is not unto him, which hath had no husband. For her he may be defiled. Defiled, unclean, right? But what it's saying is, you know, the men are supposed to make an atonement for the sins of the house. You know what I'm saying? So if his sister is a virgin, he can make that atonement for her. But if she's not a virgin, then the man that humbled her or is married to her should be her covering. You know, and for his daughter, you know, that's off top. You know, a woman, if a woman is in her father's house, she should be a virgin, unless the man that that humbled her is covering her. Tell you what, let's jump down to verse 7. Thou shalt not take a wife that is a whore or profane, neither shalt thou take a woman that is put away from her husband, for he is holy unto his God. Let's jump down to verse 9. And the daughter of any priest, if she profane herself by playing the whore, she profaned her father. She shall be burnt with fire. Now, I want y'all to think about this, sisters. I want y'all really think about what I'm about to say. On the spiritual aspect, you are the daughter of the Most High, and you allowing brothers to get you to profane his name. You are the daughters of the Most High. As a nation, we are the daughters of the Most High. And brothers, we are charged with to make sure that we look out for the daughters of Zion. There should not be a whore of the daughter of Zion. You should not be whoring out our sisters. Just think about that. Let's go to verse 13. And he shall take a wife in her virginity, a widow, a divorced woman, or a profane, or a harlot. These shall he not take. But he shall take a virgin of his own people to wife. Now I want y'all to think about that. See, a lot of sisters don't want to hear that. See, this is why we have to add value back to our people. You know, that's what this book did. That's what this covenant did. It added value to us as a people. We broke that covenant. We broke that contract. And thus far we lost our value. That's why we lost our language. That's why we lost our culture. That's why we lost our identity. That's why we lost our land. Hamashiach is bringing us back to that. And a lot of brothers and sisters are kicking against that. And what they don't realize is they're not accepting the marriage or the betrothal. Because once the Most High divorced us, there have to be a renewing of those vows, which goes over a lot of people's head. But again, you know, it's not about, that's a whole nother lesson. But anyway, family, that's why Yaakov worked 7 years for his wife, because lawfully he couldn't work no more than 7 years. That's part of our law. It's part of our law, you know. And being that he didn't have the money to pay the dowry for virgins, you know, he worked it off. So this is why we have to understand the value of our sisters. Women, you know, stop letting the brothers devalue you. You know, we have over-sexualized our women and over-sexualized our nation. You know what I'm saying? And again, this is how we got to get back to our custom, our culture, you know, our covenant with the Most High, by adding the value of the contract, the marital contract, the agreement, the covenant back to our own marriages, which would in turn be a mirror reflection of the marriage that we have with the Most High. With that being said, family, I hope it makes sense. Peace, love. Shalawam.